Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Goa Ahead. And the issue that we are debating this week is about the surge in COVID cases vis-a-vis election campaign in Goa. Practically all political parties are holding huge public meetings to the tune of 4,000, 5,000 people coming for each public meeting at each venue. Is it advisable, and whether the COVID guidelines that the government issues are on one side and the practicality of the politics is on the other? I have four eminent panelists joining me on the show. First, I have spokesperson of the BJP, Giriraj Pai Vernekar. Giriraj, welcome. Next, I have leader of the Aam Aadmi Party, Advocate Amit Palekar. Amit, welcome. Then I have leader of the Congress Party, Sankalp Amodkar. Sankalp, welcome. And last but definitely
Thank
not
you.
the least, I have Dr. Shekhar Sarkar on the panel. Giriraj, I'll start with you because BJP likes to hold these mega public meetings, mega public rallies to create an impression. Do you think it is advisable at this point of time? And as far as the advisories are concerned that are issued by the government, it is high time that the party also starts following them?
I think as far as BJP is concerned, it has always taken welfare of the people as its foremost priority. Now, coming to the election rallies, today we see a lot of criticism by political parties from across India saying that BJP holds major rallies. But let me rewind back to 2020 when Election Commission had sought opinion on virtual campaign for Bihar elections. The only party that supported the motion was BJP, and the second party being the alliance partner JDU. All other parties, made a very funny campaign calling it discriminatory and violative of equality norms. So BJP is always ready for a virtual campaign or a much limited door-to-door campaign. Just today, Honorable President of the party, Sri Sadanand Tanawade, has announced that for next 15 days we will not hold any rallies and we will concentrate on door-to-door campaign. See, now I will just make one statement that I think somewhere door-to-door makes all other parties very uncomfortable because you for door-to-door you need a cadre which most other parties today lack, and while they are still in the process of determining their full strategy, BJP has already started its door to door, and that is why I believe that BJP is not the party which requires mega rallies, but it can't be that we should lead by example every time while everybody else continues to hold it. And what we have seen, I mean, just because Amit Bab is here, we have seen some of the most irresponsible behavior by Aam Aadmi Party leader Sri Kejriwal, who has been seen coughing since December 30th, but has been holding public rallies despite of that, and has eventually turned the positive.
I'll straight away go to Amit. You have left me no other choice, Giriraj, but to straight away go to Amit Palekar. Amit, how do you respond to that, number one? Secondly, what about your party? Because we have seen cases going 500% up within last 8 days. You have been a COVID warrior yourself. You have done tremendous work during the second wave. Now you are on the political platform. You are a political leader now. One of the prominent leaders of your party. How are you looking at this situation?
Irony and hypocrisy of the situation is on the face of it very paramount. If you had seen past 8 days progress of how health advices were being issued by the government and how sabhas were being held, we have seen it in capital city. Right in the capital city, COVID violations during announcement of Mr. Babush Monsarat as a candidate for Panjim or beginning of his poll campaign. We have seen people on the days and off the days without masks. So I think it's high time we across the parties become responsible towards our electorate, towards our people, and towards ourselves and our families. As Aam Aadmi Party's leader, one thing I can tell you is that we believe in door-to-door campaigns. And today, when I am in almost even the 30 days or 40 days into this party, from the day one till today, what we have done is just door-to-door and personal meetings with every electorate from our constituency. I've covered up nearly about 70% of my constituency, each and every house. 30% remains to be doing that. I believe it's just a show of strength. What BJP is talking about, what Mr. Giriraj just said, it's irony and it's hypocrisy because of the fact that he's talking about Mr. Kejriwal being positive or turning positive about or is coughing. Now, if he has an issue of coughing, not it's a general trend with him. But it's not that unless you test to know that he's positive or not. I don't think anybody, he has been on Twitter straight away to say that I am positive. I think that is acting responsibly. That can be anything, and unless you do not know. So I think that should not be considered as irresponsible behavior. Last 10, 15, the last rally which we had, there was no surge in COVID in Goa. But as soon as we realized we had a Tiranga rally, of course, the permission was never given to us. But we ourselves had thought about cancelling the whole Tiranga rally. So, as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, as far as Amit Palekar is concerned, and the leader of AAP is concerned, we are not going to hold any rallies. We are going to concentrate on door to door, which we have been doing for last 3 months or 4 months with all our leadership. And I personally, as a leader of Aam Aadmi Party from Santa Cruz constituency, have been concentrating on door to door campaign from the time I have joined this party.
Okay, Sankalp, BJP is saying they are okay with no major rallies, door-to-door campaign. AAP is saying they are okay with no major rallies, door-to-door campaign. Congress is still going ahead with the rallies. At least BJP has taken a position today, and after lot of uproar and criticism, that they are not going to continue with major rallies at least for next 15 days, depending upon the situation. What is the point of view of Congress? What would you prefer? Can you, if election commission says tomorrow no big rallies, just campaign with very limited number of people, door to door, is Congress okay with that?
See, we are absolutely okay if the election commission come out with the order, because right now, it is not the Congress or any other. It was the BJP. We have seen the BJP government in Goa for the last continuously for last 10 days. We are looking, because during the New Year's time, our neighboring state like Karnataka, Maharashtra had put restriction on night parties, on night curfews. They had implemented. But here in Goa, we had all the crowd from the entire India in lakhs of people who flew down to Goa. Patients are rising is because of that. Because it was a fault of the government, BJP government, who could not control. If they had implemented the night curfew at that time, then this would have not been the stage. So every time it is the people, it is the BJP government who is responsible. And see, as far as Congress rally is concerned, this was already planned. It was planned around 5-6 days back. It was planned that we are going, our leaders are coming, and that's why these rallies were held. So already the leaders are in Goa. So we are going on with the meetings and with the rallies. If the election commission come out with the order or notification, then we are ready for that. We are ready.
Sagal, are you telling me that
not a required?
No, Sagal, simple question. You are saying the rallies that you are holding maybe in next 48 hours or 72 hours are already planned. Your leaders are here. Can Congress say today that you will not plan any more meetings other than the ones you are saying you have planned and you are implementing today and tomorrow?
No, yeah, definitely. We are also of the opinion, see, for us, it is more concern for the people of Goa.
Dr. Shekhar Salkar, as a medical professional, you have seen the kind of rallies, including some of the major door-to-door campaigns that are going on right now. What is your advice to the political parties?
I am extremely happy that all three parties, the major parties, have said that they are worried about the people and they will not take major rallies. But I feel the election commission also, I agree with Sankalp, that election commission should be more proactive. They should call the expert committee, as I have told 2 days back also. They should call the expert committee, take their views and implement that. See, it is like if everybody stops the major parties, and especially indoor parties. See, important is indoor meetings are more important. They are more dangerous. So I think they should stop even indoor, not only the outside rally. And they should specify, yes, you should have only 25 people who will go along with you with proper COVID appropriate behavior, and you go door to door. I think that will solve problem of everyone. So election commission also should not be, just sitting back, laid back, and just say that you do whatever you want. It is not correct. See, the number is rising very fast, and I am quite sure in next 8 to 10 days it will hit the ceiling. Today in all over India, it is double. Yesterday it was 56,000. Today it is 90,000 and above. So you can imagine it is going almost double next every second day. So I think if we goes the same way in hours, we will hit around 15,000 to 20,000 easily, and maybe it may hit the worst. Only plus point is admissions are much less. Yesterday I was comparing with the second wave and this probably. Last time there was almost for every 10 patients, new patients found, 3 were getting or 4 were getting admitted. Today it is not even one is getting admitted. So, and discharges also are good. Yesterday also there were around 11 admissions, but 9 were discharged. So effectively there is no pressure on when there are discharges also happening and admission happening, there is no problem because the beds are strained, the manpower required is same. Suppose only admissions are there and discharges are not there, then it's the major problem because it is adding to the beds. So if you compare with the last second wave and this present wave, there is the extremely almost 30% admissions were there. I mean, every 100 patients seen, 30 were getting admitted, 40 were getting admitted, and at time almost 50% were getting admitted. Today it is after 100 only one is getting admitted. So I think that is comparatively, we can handle our health system is quite good. Now we have oxygen in place, we have LMOs, we have PSAs, everything is functioning well. We have hospital beds, the strength of 5,580 about in super specialty block. So everything is available now. Only thing we hope that this is presently also with whatever this limited knowledge we have, we found that it is more of a throat problem. Lung problem is much less. The requirement of the oxygen and admissions in ICU, ventilation, and all those things which requires more manpower and oxygen, I think that is also under control. So I think I still feel that Election Commission should call the meeting of an expert committee or a task force, ask them right in front of everyone, or they should call all the leading political parties, sit with them and decide that there is no gatherings, and you should take only 25 people, not even 100. Tomorrow you may take over 100 people for house to house. Then what is the use of all these things? They should specify. You should take 10 people only, or 20 people, 25
So
people, everybody should wear masks.
you are saying even after disallowing public meetings and indoor meetings, Election Commission should also very categorically specify how many people can move around door to door.
Absolutely. Because otherwise, tomorrow you give a free chance to the party. The one who said, I will take 100 because he wants to show his strength. But suppose everybody on the same platform, like it is Congress, it is AAP, it is Trinamool, it is BJP. So everybody can take only 25 people with them, with everybody wearing proper mask. Everybody is following social distances. And that's the problem is solved. So where is the problem then?
So it's just a very interesting point that if you disallow public meetings and if you disallow indoor meetings, the show of strength will shift to door. So Election Commission will have to be very clear in specifying even the norms for door-to-door campaigning. Giriraj, Sankalp came up with that point that your government has been completely lax in imposing restrictions. Even today, I think apart from kind of shutdown of schools for a period of 15 days, no other restriction has been imposed. How do you look at that aspect? How do you defend it?
See, there are two aspects. I mean, Sankalp Bab said that they are going ahead with rallies of only those leaders who are already in Goa, trying to suggest that Corona will differentiate based on who's already in Goa and who's not. So if Dinesh Gundu Rao is in Goa, his Sabha will not have any COVID infections. I think this is double standards. Coming to AAP, I mean, he talked about the Tiranga Yatra. See, until yesterday their complaint was there are no permissions. And today they are saying that on their own they were ready to cancel. As I said, as of today, BJP has already declared that it will not go ahead with any sabhas for the next few days. Even those 7-8 lined up, I think only 2 or 3 took place, which wherever we thought it was very imperative. Now coming back to the restrictions also, so when you are when you are in power, I think you also have to be responsible to balance between livelihood and restrictions. And as Dr. Sarkar said, I mean the cases are just about coming up. I think as a government, somewhere you also have to balance it out. Otherwise, the same opposition today, which is asking for restrictions, will start parading traders, saying that see how government's restrictions. See, if you remember, the first lockdown that Honorable Prime Minister imposed, it was the Congress party that went ahead and said that it destroyed India's economy. But today, I don't think you can quantify how many lives that lockdown saved. So all I'm saying is, even in restrictions, we have to be extremely responsible. And as I said, we were one of the first states to impose the Janta curfew. We extended it. We remained COVID free for a long time. And even as far as COVID facilities is concerned, like Dr. Sarkar said, we have added the super specialty block, which is now fully functional. We have oxygen tanks at every hospital possible. So today we are far better equipped, even in case of an emergency. But restrictions are in place, and as the situation evolves, I think government will come up with more restrictions. It's just a matter of time.
Amit, how do you respond to that?
We have seen the failure of government machinery during the second COVID wave. In spite of, we had to even file a petition before the High Court to bring out to the notice of the High Court and reprimand the government. I think that failure is writ large. Now, of course, after second wave, lot of things improved with the intervention of the High Court. I'm sure government must have learned their lessons. But way things are happening in JMC, when I had even gone for the scam investigation, the responsible officers are missing from JMC today. Yes, I agree. I mean, as a member of COVID Service Goa, which is working alongside JMC as volunteers, I'm part of it. As Dr. Sakar has said, I agree with that. The fact is that the symptoms of the current variant are not such which requires hospitalization. So even though there are a lot of people, they don't even realize that they are positive, but their symptoms are such. I think we need to educate people on the symptoms so that the spread is curtailed in some manner or the other. And as far as party or political rallies are concerned, I think as politicians, we need to act responsibly. Whatever election commission says, or they do not want us to do something, I mean, we have acted responsibly. I am not moving around with more than 10 to 12 people and we are moving with particularly everyone wearing masks. And whenever we are getting in conversation with our electorate, we are maintaining social distances. When we give a card also, we are maintaining that distance. And we tell them to sanitize as soon as they have taken the card. Now we are spreading whatever that we could to curtail this particular variant, but working alongside an NGO which is part of COVID Service Goa, I can tell you one thing is that the variant is such that it is very contagious and it is very easy to spread. But of course, it is not lethal as it used to be for the second wave, and most of us are vaccinated, so it's also helping. But I think as a Goan, as Indian, we need to be, and as a human, we all need to be responsible. Forget what the authorities are saying. I don't know how ready the government is. We had seen that failure. Of course, today we may not have oxygen crisis because it doesn't require that kind of an oxygen supply. But I believe in what Dr. Salkar says today, that yes, we could be ready more than what we were during the second wave.
Absolutely, that no doubt about it. Sankalp, BJP's point is very simple. You cannot give the reasoning that we had planned these meetings, our leaders are in Goa, that's why we are going ahead with them. What kind of a reasoning is that? And then you are blaming the BJP government for not imposing restrictions during the New Year period.
So, see, BJP government and the BJP party people just know to put the ball in other people's court. Because see, if you go to see, it was purely because of this government, all this have started. We have seen the first wave, second wave also, how the people suffered in Goa. And now we are again coming to the third wave. This third wave has been announced by their own Department of Health, saying that the third wave has entered Goa. So when they are aware about the third wave has entered Goa, and if they are planning to stop all the rallies, the government should come up with a circular. They should announce, Baba, no more rallies. We will follow that. So right now, this program about our leader who has already landed yesterday, and we have kept a meeting today, and there is a tomorrow. We are taking a 21-point this thing to the governor. So these are all planned. If the notification or the orders come tonight, we will cancel everything. So let it come. These people are just trying to take the advantage. They are trying to show to the people that we are more concerned. We know how much concerned this BJP government is because we have seen them during our last second wave, how much concerned they were.
Okay,
they're just trying to fool the people.
Okay.
They're just trying to fool the people by saying that Baba, we have taken a stand that we are not going to have rallies and all that. This I am telling Baba, if they were really concerned, they should have done it before.
Okay.
And let the government come. The CM is there. The CM is there.
Before I go to Dr. Salkar, I'll give Giriraj chance to respond. Giriraj, this is a very interesting argument. Sankalp is saying you don't want people together. Straight away, it's your government, issue a notification, say that all gatherings for probably next 30 days are disallowed. You are saying, okay, we are not doing it, others are free to do it. What kind of an administration is this?
I'm really glad that Sankalp Bab accepted that they look for advice from BJP Goa or the BJP-led government, and they are not competent to decide on their own. I think this is the time, as I told you again. I mean, I referred to Bihar example right at the start. See, this is where a party has to differentiate between taking the responsibility and following the orders. It's very easy to issue guidelines. Tomorrow we can say stop the wedding, stop the parties, and the resulting economic loss it will be a huge one. But that said, people should be responsible. I don't know what stops Congress from holding the rallies. If BJP can announce it without the government issuing an order, what is Congress's compulsion to hold the rallies? See, that is my simple question to the Congress.
Okay, I'll go to Dr.
No, no,
Salkar on that.
just 2 days back, when their leaders were in Goa, when Nitin Gadkari came here for inauguration, why they had so many of rally? Everywhere they were the crowd. When your leaders are at that time, there is no problem. And when our leaders come, you have a problem. Just you have made a statement today saying that, Baba, henceforth we are not going to have the gathering or rallies. Same thing, because already it has been planned. We have taken the permission, and already it is there, and all the people are going to come over there. So it is already there. So we have not cancelled it. But I am telling you, we are also equally responsible as a Congress party, and henceforth, from day after tomorrow, we will also stop all the activities as far as rallies and meetings are
I'll go
concerned.
to Dr. Salkar on this point before I go to Giriraj again. Dr. Salkar, do you think it is high time that government comes out with at least proper basic restrictions right now, considering the rate at which the cases are increasing? Do you think it's high time? Because I remember it's almost 4 to 5 days now that the task force gave recommendations to the government, but except closing the schools, nothing else has moved ahead.
See, one thing you have to understand, whatever restrictions you put, it needs to be implemented, one of things. And whatever said and done, Karnataka, Delhi, Maharashtra has imposed restrictions about 8 days back, almost before the new year. Has it stopped the pandemic? See, you have to understand this is a pandemic. This is not a simple just a wave. In pandemic, you are chance that the disease has to grow. That virus will grow. It will come to a peak. It will come down to the peak, and it will. Only thing in the top of the peak, those 15 days, you need to save the deaths and the sufferings. That is the crux of the story. Yes, everybody should use their mask. That is also simplest thing what you can do. See, people are not using the mask. If then government telling your government, you want government to fine everybody, and then only you will wear a mask. Where is your individual responsibility? So basically, I think everybody has to be responsible. Government has to put some restrictions. You should put the restriction in a hall of maybe 100. How many can be admitted? 50. Okay, 50. You tell 50, all 50 should wear mask. Something should come. I also agree that government should put some a comprehensive guidelines. I don't want a single guideline. See, yesterday I went to the secretary. What happened to the college? He said, no, I am in charge of school. See, this should not happen.
Correct.
A government, when it decides, it can take some time. I have no problem. You take time. You take 2-3 days. But one order should be there, which should be comprehensive, which should be applicable to all
which
the
doesn't
schools,
confuse people.
all the educational institutions, all the halls, including everything. And about political this, I think election commission should come and put his foot down. One thing I can agree with, sir, there is a tremendous surge, and this surge, the only good thing is that if you see the South African data, within 1 month, it has come to zero again. Zero means at a manageable level. 4th of December, it started, and by end of the December, it was finished. So this also, I expect by 15th January to 20th January, we will hit the maximum. In next 2 weeks, we will see the maximum, then it will drop. Now the elections, suppose, are put in first week of February. You have the maximum load of the patients which are suffering is in the just 1 week prior to that. So I think the time has come for the election commission to give a very deep thought to it. call the expert committee,
and
find out
and even election commission should come out with very comprehensive, clear cut
comprehensive
instructions,
guidelines. One guideline. See, you
clear cut
can't have,
guideline.
revenue department will issue one,
Yeah,
education department will
that
issue
that that
one,
doesn't
and then there
work.
will
That
be
only
five.
confuses people.
Yeah, one comprehensive guideline, Baba, you do COVID appropriate behavior is the first thing which
Yeah,
everybody should, without
absolutely,
any
absolutely.
discussion, there is no other discussion on
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely. Doctor, thanks a lot. I'm completely out of time, but I think the crux of the situation is very clear. The political parties should behave as responsibly as government expects us, the people, to behave. I think that's all we expect from the political parties, nothing more, nothing less. Giriraj, Amit, Sankalp, Dr. Sagar, thanks a lot for joining me on the panel. Keep watching. Go ahead.